Now, we teach our dogs to sit, stay, roll over, but is there a lesson that we should be learning from our dogs, like maybe how to listen?
Well, one author sure thinks so. Welcome, Jeff Lazarus, author of Listen Like a Dog and Make Your Mark on the World. And I'm holding the book right now, Jeff. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I already love it because we have a cute dog on the front. Of course, Tina and I, we know, love dogs. But tell us really what this book is about.
See, you automatically love it because there's a dog on the cover, and that's evidence that we just love dogs, right? But dogs have a secret, and it's really the missing ingredient when it comes to true connection amongst humans, and it's listening. See, we don't really listen to one another the way the dog does. And if you think about it, when we really open up and talk to the dog, then we have this great feeling that we're actually being heard. And it's if we give that same experience to humans, then we could improve every relationship, both business and personal.
So why is it that you think that is, that dogs are better listeners than we are?
Well, they are, and for many reasons. Now, number one, it comes down to agenda. If you think about it, now dogs don't have much of an agenda. Now, yes, walks and treats, those come first, but beside that, their agenda is us. But what's our agenda? Us. We have an agenda for every second of every day. But a dog focused on us allows us to open up and talk about our fears, who we voted for in American Idol this week, the upcoming election. We have that opportunity to really open up, and they're there right next to us, cuddled up, giving us that chance to be heard.
Oh, that gives me like a warm feeling. Thank you for that. Now, you also talk about something in your book called Leash Law Violations. Talk about that.
Oh, yes. We're all violators.
Yeah.
You think about the leash, and we use the leash typically for restraint, but we don't want to lose our dog, right? So it's really about connection there, too. But it's really us humans that need to be on the leash. See, we're violators of many things when it comes to listening. We do things like interrupting. We oftentimes are guilty of what I call the runaway train. That's the person that talks and talks and talks, and you can never get a word in edgewise, right? And then also one-upping. And think about it, when you talk to somebody and you want to share your story of something that happened to you, and then they jump in, and then they tell you, oh, well, you should hear what happened to me if you think that's bad. And all of a sudden, now you have to sit back and listen.
I feel like I know every one of, so I have somebody in my life that's every one of those instances, and I'm sure I'm guilty of that as well. So why is it that we're saying today that listening is so important?
Well, it is important, and you're right. First of all, we're all guilty of some of these leash law violations, many of us more than others. But listening is so important because it comes down to connection. It's how we really connect with one another. And think about the date. Somebody goes on a date and just unloads their life story. Now, the other person may be just hoping that somebody pulls the fire alarm and they want to get out of there, right? But the person who is speaking all night long goes home and thinks, wow, this date went smooth. In fact, I think they really got me. And the point there is they felt heard. And if we can do that for one another, the way a dog does that for us, you think about the dog all cuddled up next to your side, right? Trixie or Bandit and Scout, right, when they're there, and you're just free to express yourself and you don't feel judged. Well, we don't know what they're really thinking, right? But you feel heard.
Yeah. I do. I feel heard because you knew my dog's names. I think that's so sweet. Well, you know, it's funny because in this day and age, we have all this social media. You know, I go on Facebook, I feel like I know everything about my friends, but it's not really doing the trick, is it?
No. You know, social media is this phenomenon, and we feel like, you know, let's get out there. Here's the thing. We want to be heard. We are screaming to be heard. The evidence is on Facebook. You go through and it's sad. People say, I'm sick, send a prayer for me, because they want to be heard. But what's missing here is the fact that it's really output driven. So social media is a chance for us to put our output. Hey, I don't feel well, or I'm chillaxing today, or I'm making sloppy joes for dinner. And we want a response. But what happens is everybody else gets to give their output. Oh, well, I'm not chillaxing, I'm doing this. Or I'm not having sloppy joes, we're doing this. And so instead of having that feeling that we're listened to, we're just giving people a chance to give their output. So it's output, output, output. But are we really connecting?
Yeah. Well, if before we leave all of our viewers and ourselves as well, could you give us maybe one easy technique that we can implement today to be better listeners?
Absolutely. You ready? This is a tough one.
Okay.
Okay. Stop talking. Now it's tough.
That is a tough one.
It's going to take
Yeah.
duct tape and prayer. But if people can just stop talking
Yeah.
and allow the other person just to express themselves and to just be, you're giving that gift and making a mark.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think, the relationship with our pets is definitely a big metaphor for a lot of things that go on in our lives, and we
Yes.
should be paying attention to that. And Jeff, I'm going to tell everybody how they can get a hold of your book, but thank you so much for stopping in today. And thank you for knowing our dogs' names. That was amazing.
Well, we love dogs. It's a dog's first world. Let's
I know.
face it.
True.
That's
Right.
been mentioned twice
Agreed.
on the show today. I'm super happy. Thank you so much again, Jeff. And if you, of course, want to get Jeff's book, Listen Like a Dog, starting April 26th is when you can get it. For more details, log on to listenlikeadog.com.